what would it say? What will people say about you? What will the world recognize you for? Will they recognize your shortcomings, your fears, your internal struggles? Or would they just only recognize your accomplishments? If you had to write it yourself today, what would you say about you? How transparent would you be in telling your story? If your child or your spouse had to write your obituary, what would their version of your story be? How would it differ from yours? In today's conversation, we're discussing legacy or liability. My name is Lindsay Peel, and I am a daughter, a sister, a friend, an entrepreneur, but I am also someone who is currently rewriting my story. So you can consider me my life's author. When we look at the term legacy, we typically only think about financial legacy. The standard definition tells us that it's a gift or will, especially of money or other property, passed down to the next generation. But when we also think about a legacy, when we think about what that truly means when someone dies, it's the mark that that individual left on the world. That truly represents the individual's legacy. And a part of that world includes your family. It is about the richness of the individual's life, including what that person accomplished and the impact that he or she has on people and places. Ultimately, the story of a person's life reflects their individual legacy. Take a second to think about your legacy. Take a second to think about if you are happy with the current legacy that you would leave if you had to close your eyes today. Then let's flip the script. Let's think about liability. When we think about the standard definition of a liability, it's the state of being responsible for something, especially by law. In finances, of course, we consider it a debt, something that we owe on something. But it's also a person or thing whose presence or behavior is likely to cause embarrassment or to put someone at a disadvantage. Your legacy or the liability that you leave, it does not have to be solely monetary. It also includes trauma. It includes mental health, or on the reverse, mental illness, physical health, physical illness, integrity, or the lack thereof, or moral compass. Oftentimes, we do not really consider how much power and control that we have in creating our life story. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to take off the mask and to truly see ourselves for who we are, what we are, for ourselves, but also for other people. Oftentimes, when we really think about what we want to leave to someone and how we want to do it, especially in communities who look like us, sometimes it's too late. Today is an opportunity for you to open your eyes. Today is an opportunity for you to see yourself in your mirror. Mask off. Who are you? Who do you show up as? How do you present yourself? When we think about what we want to give someone, more so what we want to leave someone, it's often impossible to give someone else something that we've never been able to give to ourselves. That can consist of financial wealth, physical wealth, mental wealth. But that can also be vulnerability, truth. If we're never really able to give ourselves the truth about us, who we are, we cannot expect to give that to someone else. And in return, those who are closest to us, we can never really expect them to be able to give it to themselves. Moms, when we think about a legacy, we always want to glamorize it of what we want to leave to our children. But I also want us to take a moment to think about the liabilities that we tend to pass down to our children. And before you hold yourself accountable for it all, before you blame yourself for some of the things that you may think about in this conversation, I want to remind you that you are a part of someone else's legacy, or some of the components of you were also traces of someone else's liabilities that went untreated. Let's truly think about the pieces of you, not the you that we present with a mask, that we strive for perfection sometimes, but the you, layers off, skin off, you, your authentic self. The you that people around you, the closest to you, can see, that sometimes they are not able to articulate. Sometimes they're not able to really put their finger on it and what they see, but they feel from you on. My therapist has truly been opening my eyes for me to see a version of me that I had considered to be so normal. Because we normalize things that are familiar to us. Good things, and sometimes those that are not so good. For me, I've been on a journey of self-discovery to view those parts of me that aren't so great, the parts of me that I hide, that I attempt to hide from those that are closest to me, from those that see me out in the world. But what I've learned is that if I can't address me and who I am and my most authentic self, if I can't see me for who I am and love me for who I am, I can't do that for others. It's not easy, but it's a part of you writing your story. It's a part of you making a decision of who you want to be, but also what you want to leave behind. Trauma, when it goes unaddressed, when we bury it with layers of bandages, layers of quick fixes, the root of the issue still lives. It's still breathing. And we tend to project and pass those things down to someone else. But today in this conversation, we are opening our eyes to see our full selves, not just to see our full selves, but to love our full selves in all that we have, in all that we are. But we're also allowing ourselves grace to understand who we are, to understand how we've become who we are now. The person you are today, I promise that you were not that person 5 years ago, or even 6 months ago, or even yesterday. But this is also a reminder that who you are now, you do not have to be her tomorrow. You do not have to be her next week. But before you can truly create the blueprint of who you want to be, you got to first address who you are now. And in doing so, would you be happy with who you are now if you closed your eyes today? Would you consider yourself leaving behind a true legacy? Or would you consider yourself passing down some liabilities that went untreated? When we really think about creating the blueprint of our life and rewriting our story, in which I am currently doing today and every day, it starts with creating a vision. Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want your life to look like? Today, tomorrow, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What type of legacy do you want to leave? Because now that we're having this conversation, I know that you all do not want to leave any liabilities behind. We do not want to leave debt behind, but we also do not want to leave mental illnesses behind. We do not want to leave trauma behind that we did not address. Now, listen, some things are inevitable, right? We cannot control everything. But what you can control, we want you to take back your power. Take back your pen of writing life story for yourself. What is the vision that you have? And this new vision that we're creating, and I say new because this new vision is going to be different for you. It's going to be a vision that also includes your healing. Your healing from some of the liabilities that were passed down to you, but also your own personal healing of things that you have created for yourself that can appear to be a liability, but because you are still alive, you can reel it back in. This vision that you're creating for yourself today forward, we won't include a mask on who you are. This vision will include you as your real, authentic self. You loving your authentic self. Mask off. In your truth. Healing in your truth. This vision will not include fear. We're not including fear when we think about our future. Fear is an emotion. It's something that we feel. It typically comes from a valid place, but it's not something that we have to walk in forever. If you have been fearful, if you have walked in fear a number of years of your life, it's okay. I'm here to remind you today that you can finally peel off the band-aid of fear. You don't have to be afraid of what others are going to think about you. Why? Because you love you. You're no longer going to think about what are they going to say, because you know what you have said about you. You know the positive things that you have said about your healing that no one else can envision. No one else knows. This new vision that you're creating for yourself does not have to include your childhood trauma, nor the effects of your childhood trauma. That feeling of being unworthy, of dreaming bigger than your circumstances. That feeling sometimes that you get when you feel like you are just unable to see your dreams actually coming to pass. The revolving doors of disappointment, job loss, loss of a relationship, loss of a family member. It's disappointment. It hurts, but you don't have to carry that with you anymore. You want your vision to require you to stretch outside of your comfort zone. And even healing, a lot of times, is us stretching outside of our comfort zone because it's so unfamiliar to us. My mom is 70. My father is 69. He'll be 70 next month. And even I am breaking curses that I have seen in my parents growing up. My ability to even seek therapy, to seek help, to understand who I am so that I can heal, but so also that I can rewrite my story. It's bold, it's new, it's unfamiliar, but it's a part of that vision that I had for myself that I didn't see, that I was fearful of. But it's also allowing me to create a new legacy for my future family, a new legacy that one day I'm going to be able to appreciate about myself, but also those around me will be able to appreciate your resilience. You being able to invest in you to create a legacy that you are proud of living today. We don't want you to just think about your legacy or your liability when it's time to plan for afterlife. We want to think about the now, the who we are when we walk out of that door every day, who we are when we open our eyes and stretch, when we sit and meditate and pray, and when we do those things, our daily routine, our habits. We are creating a legacy or liability for someone else to carry, but also for yourself to carry. Today, I want you to feel bold enough to rewrite your story. I want you to feel confident enough to consider yourself an author of your life, but an author with purpose, with a bigger vision that nobody else can give you permission to write or see but you. You feeling worthy of gifting yourself new, gifting yourself healing, gifting yourself the best version of you. If I can address some of the nasty parts of me, I know that you can too. We're going to rewrite our stories together. We are going to create a legacy today while we're alive that we are proud of. That when we are in a space to close our eyes, we have no regrets, but we also have no worries for those who came behind us because we're not passing down those liabilities. Today, I want you to reclaim control of your life and your story. Your past is gone. Your future awaits you. But you are the captain of your ship. You are the author of your story. Today, I hope to empower you to rewrite your future, to work on those liabilities, to treat them, to care for them, and to love yourself through that healing process so that the rest of your life can be a part of your legacy that you actually enjoy. I want you all to repeat after me. I am evolving into the best version of myself. As long as I am alive, I can rewrite my story. Again, I am evolving into the best version of myself. And as long as I am alive, I can rewrite my story. There is someone that is impacted by your story. Yes, of course, if you have children, your children, nieces, nephews, sisters, brothers. But there's also someone that's a little bit more important that is being impacted by your life story. That is you. Ask yourself today, are you writing and living and walking in a true fruitful legacy? Or are we stumbling? Are we trying to cover up and living in our liability? Thank you.
That was good. That was heavy, but it was good. Um, Again, this is the last day of the summit, y'all. This is day 5. And these sisters have not let up every single day. Every single day has been as powerful as the day before. But we have not been the same. Right? We're more and more open each day, more and more charged each day. We got rid of some gunk. Like today, right? Today, we know where to put this stuff. In the beginning, it was just like we was dizzy, right? Being slapped all which way. But today, we know where to put this stuff. So this is the last day of the summit. I challenge you to take these nuggets with you. We can't get time back, but we have the rest of our lives. We can always rewrite our stories. To the last portion of this money talk. This is a very intimate discussion with Lindsay and myself, unpacking a whole lot of things, especially because we have to heal our relationship with money. So take out your pens and your paper. This is a fireside chat. And this is the last day of the summit. I'm saying this intentionally because it's got to stick with you, right? We ain't gonna be here to keep pushing you to do it after today, right? So we're about to go over there, but I need y'all to put this stuff somewhere. You're ready. I promise you, you're ready. This is world-class knowledge I have been given. So you need to put it somewhere because this is the best of the best that the top people in the world are using. I promise. We just putting it in terms, our terms. We're putting the ease back in easy for Black women. All right. So I'll meet y'all over there. The next fireside chat is called Building Black Wealth. I'll see y'all in a minute.